To order the Columbus City Council meeting. The date today is November 12th, 2025, and the time is 6 p.m. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. If everybody would stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just for the record, all the council members are here, and Councilman Bush will be on Zoom. And first thing on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Anybody want to make a motion?
It's Jenny. I can make a motion. I, Jenny, move to approve the agenda for November 12th, 2025 City Council meeting.
Scott, I can second.
We have a motion. It's been seconded. Is there any other discussion? Any questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote, starting with Jenny.
Jenny, aye.
Scott, I.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. The motion passes. We'll go on to item number 2, or B, consent agenda. I make a motion, Ron Hanegraaff, to move the consent agenda for the November 12th, 2025 City Council meeting. Anybody want to second that?
Scott, I can second that.
We got a motion on the floor. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote.
Jenny, aye.
Scott, I.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. I'd like to we're going to read 2 resolutions here. I'll read the first one, number 4 of the consent agenda. It's a resolution honoring Janet Hegland for her service on the Columbus City Council. Whereas Janet Hegland has faithfully served the residents of the City of Columbus as a member of the City Council for the past 7 years. And whereas during her terms, she has demonstrated exceptional leadership, integrity, and commitment to the advancement and well-being of the city. And whereas Janet Hegland has played a vital role in guiding the city through numerous projects and initiatives, including a broadband service project that has led to the availability of high-speed internet to all residents of the city, unending efforts to address the physical disparities and promotion of policies and procedures to upgrade the internal organization of city functions. And whereas she has been tireless advocates for the citizens of the City of Columbus, ensuring that their voices are heard and their needs are represented in all council deliberations. And whereas with her departure from the City Council, it is fitting that the City of Columbus expresses its deepest appreciations for her years of outstanding service and contributions to the betterment of our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Columbus that we hereby extend our heartfelt gratitude and best wishes to Janet Hegland and honor her for exemplary dedication, leadership, and commitment to the people of the City of Columbus. This will be passed and adopted by the City Council of the City of Columbus on this 12th day of November 2025. Jack?
Thank you, Ron. I will read the next resolution. This is a resolution honoring Lorie Spangler for 16 years of exemplary service to the City of Columbus. Lorie Spangler faithfully served the City of Columbus for 16 years, demonstrating outstanding dedication, professionalism, and a commitment to excellence in every aspect of her work. And whereas during her tenure as Deputy City Clerk, Lorie Spangler has exemplified the high standards of public service, earning the respect and admiration of colleagues, city leadership, and residents of the City of Columbus. And whereas Lorie Spangler's positive attitude, teamwork, and deep knowledge of city operations made her an invaluable resource and role model for all city employees. And whereas Lorie's dedication to her duties as Deputy City Clerk and Election and Recycling Coordinator has set a standard for those who follow in her footsteps. And whereas with her retirement, Lorie Spangler leaves behind a legacy of excellence, service, and friendship that will continue to inspire all who had the privilege to work with her. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the City of Columbus that the council hereby honors and expresses its deepest gratitude and appreciation to Lorie Spangler for her years of outstanding service and dedication to the citizens of the city of Columbus. And I would like to add one little post to that. She was beloved by all, cheerful in all weathers, never shirked a chore, splendid behavior, outstanding employee.
Thank you both, Janet and Lorie. We'll go on to item number C, presentations and items for council actions. First thing on the item is the open forum. Is there anybody out there that would like to speak? You can step up front and give your name and address. Hearing none, we'll look at Zoom. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to say something? Hearing none, we'll close the public forum and go on to item number 2, authorization of the process for a city council vacancy appointment.
Councilmember Janet Hegland submitted her letter of resignation from the Columbus City Council on October 16, 2025. The council accepted Mrs. Hegland's resignation and declared a vacancy for her council seat on October 22nd. City Council must now determine the process for selecting Ms. Hegland's replacement. Ms. Hegland's term expires on December 31st, 2026. The appointment to fill this vacancy would be for the unexpired term of this seat. At the November 4th, 2025 City Council workshop meeting, Council expressed a preference for utilizing the process approved for the previous City Council vacancy appointment and accept letters of intent from sitting commission, committee, board, authority members as candidates for the position. It is recommended that the candidates appear before council on November 24th and be provided a designated amount of time to address the following items: candidates' reasons for serving as a city council member, candidates' commitment to the position, and acknowledgement of time required to fulfill the duties of a city council member, and candidates' vision for the city of Columbus. After the discussion, City Council may proceed to entertain a motion for the appointment to the position. At this time, I would like to request that City Council authorize the approval of this process for the selection of the candidates.
This is Jenny. I move to approve that the City Council accept a brief resume and letter of intent to apply for the vacant City Council seat of Janet Hegland from sitting commission, committee, board, and authority members as the candidates for consideration for this position.
This is Ron. I'll second that. It's a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. The motion passes. Go on to item number 3, public nuisance and health code violation, 16235 Cornell Street.
On October 28, 2025, a complaint was received by the city regarding large amounts of trash in and about the front yard of 16235 Cornell Street. The property was inspected by the city code compliance official and found to be in violation of city code section 5-100 public nuisances and 5-300 public nuisances affecting health, safety, comfort, or repose. The resident occupant property owner of 16235 Cornell Street was issued an order to address the situation by November 4th, 2025. An inspection of the property on November 4th showed no indications of any attempt to remove that trash, and inspection today showed no efforts to follow forth with the order to comply with the code. As a result of the violation and potential public health concerns relating to the site conditions, along with the lack of total response to the issue, staff is requesting that an abatement order be considered to resolve this matter. I also have Sean Massard, our code compliance officer, here, if there's any specific questions anyone wants to ask him. But apparently there's been no response to the issue and no effort to take care of it, and this may be one that would have to go to abatement to make sure it's taken care of.
I've got a question, Sean. I've been by this house, I think, before you got the complaint and after you got the complaint, and the windows are open in it, and I think went by it today. And is anybody living there?
Well, let me bring my file. As of last week, yes. And as of last year, yes. This is a house with multiple 911 calls, pardon me, with whether it's medical or other type of assistance. And several generations are, from my understanding, I've never been inside, several generations are living inside there or were as of last week. The comment I received when I spoke with her in person along with the deputy was that she may be moving out to some sort of a shelter. However, she's got at least 2, if I remember right, adult children and unknown number of grandkids. Whether they're still there or not, I don't know. Unknown at this point.
Did you, when was the last time you were back there?
It was on the 28th. And I gave her 1 week due to the health and safety. Usually I give a lot more time. Due to the health and safety, it was 1 week for the cleanup of the garbage. She claimed she would try. And then that's when she mentioned moving out. 2 certified letters were sent, and both are in pending due to the fact that no response was gotten or received at the door. So they left notices at the door for the certified letter, but nobody answered.
Did you notice, I know, maybe you didn't notice the windows?
Yes.
And they were open?
Yes.
Like when it was like 24 degrees out?
Yes. When I was there with the deputy, granted it was much warmer. The front door was ajar and some of the windows were open as well. If you go to the back of the residence, it's kind of the same deal. So I don't know if they're still there or if they've moved out.
This garbage that I know you got the pictures of it and stuff like that. Where does it stop where we can't remove that, Bill or Sean? That garbage sits there and the dogs just keep tearing it up and hauling it.
And that's what we're here for today. So my question that I raised to Jack was, so the abatement process of getting rid of that garbage, it's a lot easier than the Iverson issue from a couple years ago because we don't have to store any of it. Having said that, I asked Jack if it meets the threshold of whatever emergency provision this has due to the fact that it's a health and safety issue, right? She self-admitted to having skunks coming by, which I said was an exact direct result of having the garbage, which she didn't agree with. But there's clearly issues that are affecting people in this area.
So when do we actually hire somebody or something to get that off of there? Or do we have to wait till it goes through the process?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor and Council, that's the reason for abatement, is to give you the authority to go onto the property and abate the nuisance yourself and then charge the cost to the property.
So how would we?
You have to take the steps.
Okay.
And so if you authorize it tonight, then Sean will follow the code and get the authority to go on the property, probably hire out somebody to go on the property and get it cleaned up.
Okay.
This is Jenny. I have one question. I know that you talked to Stephanie Kirkpatrick, but not Kevin. Kevin is the homeowner, is that right?
Yes, according to GIS, Kevin is the listed owner, and it's not a dual owner from what I understand. This is an ongoing issue from last year too with her and her somewhat estranged husband. I don't know the exact particulars. I was told over being there for an hour at one point of the exact particulars, but I think there's a lot more at play. And I don't know where he is, how to get a hold of him, anything like that.
And the thing with abatement is these will be assessed on their taxes. So whomever the property is registered in that name, that's what the tax statement, they will receive the tax statement and the special assessments.
Right. My question is, do we have any concern in not working directly, not because we aren't able to find the homeowner himself? Do we have any issue that way from a legal perspective, that it's the non-homeowner that we're able to find and talk to.
Mr. Mayor, council member, just from what Sean has relayed, they've made the reasonable attempt to reach out to the homeowner, drop off certified mail, and so those efforts are sufficient, I believe, under the ordinance and statute.
As well as when she mentioned of moving out to going to some kind of a shelter, she said that when she does so, she would call me and leave me Kevin's name and phone number, which she has yet to do. So.
Thank you very much.
So the other question I have is, if we clean this up out in the yard and stuff like that, now we got a house that is easy to access. I mean, kids or vandalism could get into it. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I mean, we're lucky it's sitting on a dead end cul-de-sac and no kids or vandals or whatever would see it, but where do we go from here then? Do we just, I mean, if this house is unsecured and open, it could turn into something else.
Would it be a possibility for a welfare check for deputy sheriffs? I don't know, but that's a possibility. Given the circumstances regarding the previous call history at that residence, something to think about.
I'm just looking at the future. We can clean it up, but nobody's living there though, but now we got an open residence that, I guess we just have to keep an eye on it, huh? Talk to the deputies.
Yeah, that's another avenue is extra patrol request. I mean.
If somebody's there, they can talk to them then.
Right.
Okay.
And the question would be is, that I had raised was if this, do we need to, the direction of this, do we need to go through each step of the process of the public hearing and everything, or does this meet the emergency, whatever it is, provision clause of the ordinance saying that we can just hire somebody because it is a health and safety thing? I don't know the answer to that.
Mr. Mayor, council, I have not been asked to look at that, but we certainly can and advise Sean. I think you could make the motion to abate the nuisance either as an emergency response, or if it doesn't warrant an emergency response, then to follow the normal procedure. But you could make that motion tonight if you're so inclined.
So we have to make an motion on the abatement then?
Correct, to initiate the process.
And this is Scott. My question, Sean, is what kind of garbage is this? Is this like
It appears because
food product in there where we're going to attract rats and other kind of vermin?
It appears to be household trash. I didn't dig through, but from the couple of the bags when I walked by with the deputy, from a couple of the bags, I saw some plastic, or some paper plates with food residue. It looks like it's household trash, which I would imagine the inside of the house is probably worse, but who knows?
Yeah, well, my concern would be with the outside of the house for the emergency, right? Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
assuming why the skunks are showing up and.
Who knows what else?
Right.
Yeah.
Is there garbage in the back too?
Yes.
What do we do now? Just making a motion, huh?
So, and can we be specific on what we're cleaning up too? Like the outside of the house and what the pictures are showing here and the outside trash? We're not necessarily going beyond that for the emergency abatement, or?
Mr. Mayor, council member, yes, that would be appropriate to kind of restate some of the facts and why you consider it an emergency as part of the discussion or motion.
Okay.
Ms. Jenny, this is hard. I grew up going to this house. I knew the original owner, so I appreciate your efforts to work to clean it up because I still know quite a few of the residents on that street, and I'm sure it's an eyesore for them as well. So thank you for your work on this.
It's funny it went as long as it did.
I'm surprised too.
Because I think before we got the complaint, I went down that road and seen the bags stretched, like a dog had something had dragged the garbage across the yard.
Yes, and it's been in the back since at least last year.
So we don't have a motion written out, do we, Jack?
No, I thought we would wait to see what the particulars were, and we can make the motion as Bill recommended to approve the abatement process to resolve this matter and issue any kind of limitations or restrictions involving the removal of what particular type of trash that's there.
Okay.
Okay,
I can make that motion.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Hey,
Scott.
this is Rob. I have my hand up for a little bit. I was curious, are we concerned that where this Kevin is at, that maybe he's not, I think Sean's spot on that we need to send some sort of welfare check for where he is at. Was anyone else concerned on that maybe something might have happened to Kevin and these people are squatting in his house, or are these family members, Sean?
This is his, at least she claims to be his wife. She said it's not, well, this was last year, not a legal divorce. She claims that he left for another woman. Same last name.
Oh.
Same last name, Kirkpatrick.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
she said their son, and he was, when I was out there on the, 28th, he was cleaning out a Tahoe.
Okay.
Yeah, she claims to be an ex or a current wife. I'm not sure the legal status. I don't know if she knows. And then, same last name.
Okay.
John,
Thanks. And then maybe a question to the city attorney, Bill. What in the chances this gets foreclosed that we even get our money back out of it? Will the bank pay the back taxes on it, or are we out the money by investing in this in the event that this house gets foreclosed on?
Mr. Mayor and Council, usually the liens that are against the property are taken into account during the foreclosure process. Now, the bank's position is prior to any of those liens, but generally, depending on the type of foreclosure process, the buyers would negotiate those liens. So they could be wiped out. It just depends on whether it's a deed in lieu of foreclosure or it's an actual foreclosure. Still, we want to make sure that we tag the property with those costs because typically there is value in these properties, but we can't determine that without doing some investigation.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
sure.
okay, you want to,
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just wanted to confirm, Sean, you went there with a deputy from the sheriff's office? The day you went?
Yes, sir.
So there was a deputy on scene that could have made evaluations on health, safety, as well as resident welfare at that same date and time, so.
And it was specifically went there due to her last year's, the perceived mental issues, and it's on body camera. So that's the biggest
So the
reason.
sheriff's office is aware.
Yeah, and they go there quite frequently from what the deputy was telling me.
And Mr. Mayor and Council will want to get the deputy's records of that visit if there are any reports.
I have the case number in my report. I can forward that to whoever needs it.
Great, thank you.
okay. Scott, you want to finish that?
Yeah, this is Scott. I make a motion to approve the abatement of the property at 16235 Cornell Street Northeast regarding the trash that's been left in front and in the rear of the residence.
This is Jenny, I second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Any other discussion? Any other questions? Hearing none. Jenny, you want to vote?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. The motion passes. We'll go on to item number
Thank you, Sean.
4, escrow fund transfers.
As discussed at the November 4th, 2025 City Council workshop, the City of Columbus requires escrow deposits from development applicants to cover costs related to legal, engineering, and planning services. All escrow accounts are reviewed for completeness, and the following action items to transfer costs to the appropriate expense accounts are recommended. Transfer of costs from Park Construction Escrow, Apollo Development Escrow, RZB IUP Renewal Escrow, and transfer costs from the Lackner Development Amendment to legal, engineering, and expense accounts are recommended for transfer to land held for resale for the Apollo Development account and for the appropriate expense accounts for the others. So the motion is recommended that council approve the transfer of these outstanding escrow balances as discussed at the city workshop meeting that occurred last week.
This is what we discussed at the workshop.
Correct.
All right. I, Ron Hanegraaff, move to approve the transfer of outstanding escrow balances for park construction, Apollo Development, RZB IUP, and Lackner Development Agreement Amendment to the appropriate expense accounts as recommended in the staff report of item C.4 for the November 12, 2025 City Council meeting.
Scott, I'll second.
We got a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Is there any other discussion?
Yes, Jenny, I have one thing to note. So just to clarify for residents, just want to make sure that we're all understanding that these were old, now defunct projects, right? Correct? So
Yes.
Cheryl talking about that. So just making sure that we note that for residents who may not have researched this. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, Jenny, for saying that. Having nothing else forward, let's take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. The motion passes. We'll go to item number 5, bond and park fund transfers.
This will be a two-part presentation. There will be two motions requested here. The first one is for the bond transfer request. The final payment and fiscal agent fee for the bond 214A street paving projects was paid in 2025. Revenue for authorization of the bond payments was not received as anticipated due to delinquent special assessment. As bond fund accounts cannot have a negative balance and the City of Columbus has a bond reserve account, the finance director is requesting to transfer $42,949.46 from the bond reserve account to the bond 2014A account. Recoverable special assessments will be credited to Bond Reserve Account Fund 375 to make it whole as these are received. So the first motion then would be to approve the transfer of the $42,949.46 from the Bond Reserve Account to the Bond 214A account.
I, Ron Hanegraaff, move to approve the transfer of $42,949.46 from the bond reserve account 375 to the bond 2014A account 314. Anybody want to second that? Or do we?
This is Jenny, I second.
Okay. Any other discussion, questions?
Just one question. How much does that leave in the bond reserve account?
It would leave about 100,000, Scott.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob?
Sorry, my button froze. Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. Motion passes. We go on to the second one, Jack?
Yes, there's a general fund transfer request also included under this item, and that would be a transfer of $48,000 from the general fund to the park capital fund to cover the funding gap for the tennis court project, which was approved by City Council on August 13th, 2025. As discussed, the city would use the proceeds from the proposed sale of a publicly owned property that has a potential value exceeding this amount to reimburse the general fund for the transfer. Should the sale of this property not occur or fall short of the amount needed for the transfer reimbursement, the city could also include, number one, the use of park dedication fees that could be generated from the sale of city property adjacent to and north of the Caribou Coffee for a market rate apartment project to reimburse the use of a general funds transfer for the tennis court project, or it could consider the use of the $48,000 transfer from the general fund to the parks capital fund as an investment in park infrastructure with no obligation for repayment. At this time, staff is requesting the $48,000 transfer be approved and that the two issues of recovering that revenue through other sales would be used to reimburse this transfer.
Okay, I, Ron Hanegraaff, move to approve the transfer of $48,000 from the general fund 100 to the park capital fund 403 to cover the funding gap for the tennis court project.
Scott, I'll second that.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. The motion passes. We'll go on to item number 6, performance review policy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am not going to bore you with the staff report that you've already heard on multiple occasions. As you know, we did discuss this at the council workshop last week. Nothing has been edited from the version that you saw, and it is presented to you tonight for approval.
Any questions from any of the council members?
No? I can make the motion. Mrs. Scott, I move to approve the performance review policy as presented in Agenda Item C.6 for the November 12th, 2025 City Council meeting.
Second, Rob.
Got a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Is there any other discussion? Questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. Motion passes. We'll go on to item number 7, Northwest Quad rezoning and comprehensive plan amendment approval.
The City Council approved the Northwest Quad Comprehensive Plan Amendment on August 27, 2025, following a public hearing before the Planning Commission on July 16, 2025. The approval was contingent upon review by the Metropolitan Council. The associated rezoning ordinance 25-05 also received a public hearing before the Planning Commission on July the 16th, 2025. Approval of that ordinance was also contingent upon the Metropolitan Council's review of the comp plan amendment. On November 3rd, 2025, the city received a letter from the Metropolitan Council confirming that the comp plan amendment is consistent with the regional growth plans and may be adopted by City Council. As part of this, there are 2 motions. Motion number 1 would be approval of Resolution 25-15, adopting the Northwest Quad Comp Plan and Publication Summary. And the second motion would be approval of Ordinance 25-05, amending Chapter 7A of the Columbus City Code.
I can make the motion. This is Jenny. I move to approve Resolution 25-15, a resolution adopting an amendment to the city's comprehensive plan to change the land use designation of the Northwest Quad from general commercial to mixed-use high density.
Scott, I'll second.
We got a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Any other discussion? Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. Motion 1 passes.
This is Scott. I can move to approve Ordinance 25-05 and ordinance amending Chapter 7A zoning regulations in the City of Columbus.
This is Jenny. I second.
We got a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Any other discussion? Any other questions?
I just have one thing. I'd like to just say, hey, Eleanor Hahn, the Assistant City Planner, did a good job of putting all this together and getting it back. So very much appreciated.
Good comment. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, aye.
Scott, aye.
Rob, aye.
Ron, aye. Motion passes. We'll go on to item D, consultant liaison and staff reports. We'll go to the large red area here, city engineer report. Brian?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I do have 3 items to report this evening. The first is in regards to the Notre Dame Street soil borings. AET boring company will be out there next week. So they'll be starting, and as I remember, it's 2 to 3 days worth of boring. So they'll be starting on Monday and should wrap up by Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. So you should start seeing traffic control being set up here in the next couple of days. So it'll be ready to go next week. I don't know if you have any questions regarding that, but we do have, I believe, 50 borings that are being marked out on the site. So they'll be starting that work.
So Brian, is traffic control, I'm sorry, Mayor.
No, go ahead.
Is traffic control, are we going to be down to 1 lane with flaggers out there while we're doing soil borings?
Yes, they may have to do some of that, but that's all in their contract, so they're going to be responsible for that. There will be no road closure, no detour It's just they'll have to,
There could be some minor delays for residents on Notre Dame during the day.
yes.
Okay.
I was going to ask, how long is it going to take to get the findings,
They did say 3 weeks.
from the date they
We'll
finish?
get the final report 3 weeks after they're completed with the boring, so,
And I suppose it's 8 to 4 p.m. or something they're going to do this?
yes. Yep. Normal work.
This is Rob. I got a question around, are they planning to have flaggers out there? Because those last guys that started the crack seal or whatever it was on the last one, they didn't have flaggers. They were just letting cars whiz around them. Is there anything in the contract that they have to have flaggers?
There's nothing in the contract requiring flaggers, but they are to do traffic control according to the construction manual of the MnDOT. So if the conditions are such, they're supposed to provide the necessary level of traffic control.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, like I said, them last guys, they didn't, half of them had vests on, half of them didn't. There weren't flaggers, but I imagine this is a better outfit than that last one. So thank you.
This is Jenny. So I know that there are flags out there currently. I assume maybe that's a part of this project where they're kind of noting where that's going to go. Do you happen to know the date? Will we get a chance to know what specific date that is that they're going to be out there so we can maybe share that on social media and things like that?
Monday through Wednesday, right?
So Monday through Wednesday, yeah, the
just no-
17th through the 20th.
17th through
yes.
19th. Okay.
Can we put that on the reader board too,
Yeah.
out front?
Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
You got other items too?
Moving on. We did get a request from the developer of the Brown Beagle to release their letter of credit. The best we can do is reduce the letter of credit to 20% of the total, which it currently is already at. And the developer's agreement requires us to hold it from 1 year from the date of completion of the improvements. The improvements were completed on October 5th of 2025, so the letter of credit can be released October 5th of 2026. So I guess the best we can do at this point is just acknowledge that the improvements have been completed and that it does start the 1 year letter of credit release. So that's kind of the motion that we have, is to basically move to hold the letter of credit for 1 year until October 5th, 2026.
And then they'll get their money then?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion, as recommended by the city engineer. I, Ron, move to hold the reduction of the letter of credit for the Brown Beagle LLC project in the amount of $81,250 until October 2nd, 2026.
This is Jenny, I second.
Just a quick question, is it October 5th or the 2nd as written?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was October 5th is the date of completion.
Amend your
So,
motion.
Typo then, huh? Should be the 5th?
yes, which is a Monday. I had to check it to see why there was a change there, but that is a Monday, so it's appropriate.
All right, the motion still stays, but the 5th.
Correct.
Okay, and it's seconded.
Jenny, I second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Jenny?
Jenny, I.
Scott, aye?
Rob, aye.
Ron, aye. Motion passes.
And the third and final item I have is to approve partial payment number 1 for the tennis court improvements. It's my understanding the project representatives have reviewed the project and determined that the improvements to date are appropriate for the request. And so the partial payment does include a retainage, so there's a 5% retainage. So it's work to date, completed, less 5%. So that's the first partial payment in the amount of $85,167.50.
This is Jenny, as recommended by City Engineer Brian Bachmeyer. I move to approve pay application number 1 for the City of Columbus Tennis Court project in the amount of $85,167.50.
This is Ron. I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. Jenny?
Jenny, I.
Scott, aye?
Rob, aye.
And Ron, aye. The motion passes. Thank you, Brian. Unless there's more.
Welcome. No, that's enough for you this evening. Thank you.
Brian earned his money tonight.
He always does.
True.
Item number 2, the city attorney's report. Bill?
Mr. Mayor and Council, just a quick update. We have sent our comments on to the DNR with regard to the canoe launch at St. Clair Lakes, and the staff at the DNR will review those comments and then get them to the attorney at the DNR, who's Rob Carey. We've worked with Rob Carey on this site, so he will be familiar with it.
Okay.
So we'll just, as soon as the DNR gets back to us, we'll get back to you and to the residents.
Any estimate on lead time on that, Bill?
I don't have an estimate, but certainly within a couple of weeks, we would be prompting a response. Anytime you work with state agencies, it takes a couple of prompts, but we'll move it along. We know the residents are interested in resolving that question.
That it, Bill?
That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mayor and City Council's report. Jenny, do you have anything?
This is Jenny. I had a resident reach out, and they had a question about a non-permanent storage unit and putting that in their backyard. They wanted to kind of go about it the right way, and so they asked my opinion. They reached out, or I had them reach out to Sean. They had worked with Sean in the past. He was able to help them with that, and he actually went to their house and talked to them for quite a while about it. So again, I know Sean's not here, but just thanking him for going and working with the residents on that.
Good. Scott?
No report tonight, thank you.
Rob?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just a shout out to Public Works. Bill Carth showed up to the Columbus trunk or treat deal that I believe we haven't had a council meeting since then, but him and his wife came out and supported Columbus. And so
Well,
and kids were perhaps.
I think we got the idea of what he was saying.
Is it?
Hey, can you guys hear me with my camera off?
Yeah.
Yes,
Guys and gals. Yeah, no, it was just a thank you to Public Works. Bill Carth had showed up with one of our excavators, our front end loader, to the trunk or treat event at the Columbus school. So big thanks to Public Works for that and being out in the community. David's Hydrovac also did a fantastic deal as well. So thanks to all the people that showed up for that. Thank you.
Now we can hear you good. Thank you, Rob. The only thing I have to say is I did get a call or whatever about Midcoast hooking up on Broadway. There's still some people haven't been hooked up. I did give it to Lindsay, and Lindsay's contacted Midco, and we're supposed to hear back. So if you get any calls, there's a group of them about the 7100 block that haven't been. At least that's a story that the guy is saying down there. So just to let you know that Lindsay is on that one. So the
Say, Mayor, I forgot something. If I could.
Yeah.
So with what you were talking about, Midco, I got several calls about what they're going to do about repairing ditches where the residents are mowing their ditches currently. They've left atrocious messes in some of the residents' ditches, which we know it's public right away, but they've been maintaining it on the city's behalf to keep a nice yard. Do we have any idea maybe from the city engineer or the city administrator on what condition they're going to bring that back to? They've left pretty big holes and depressions and things of that nature.
Rob, they will have to establish that back to its pre-existing condition. We'll check their right-of-way permits and notify them of those areas where they have to go back and make sure they restore that to its condition prior to construction.
I happen to know a little about this too, because Midco contracts to an outfit in Shakopee, and it's a landscaping outfit. And on 165th and Notre Dame, they had the same problem. But if you get a hold of Midco right away, they'll get on them. I know. So maybe that's the thing, Rob, to have them call Jack.
Yeah. Thanks, Mayor. I had seen a landscape outfit. I don't know if he was because I'd been over there deer hunting last week, but just kind of seemed like he was maybe scoping it out, but maybe that is the case. So thank you. I just wanted to, with the ground freezing, I didn't want the them to get final payment and then walk away from some shoddy repairs per se.
Councilmember Bush, this is Aaron. We do have right-of-way permit inspections that happen at the completion of work. And so whether they call us or we close out the permit, we won't close the permit out until that inspection has been done. And if this is the case and the permit was pulled by Midco, they'll get a notice reminding them that the right-of-way hasn't been restored, and they'll have to hire somebody to come take care of it.
And as
Great. Thank you so much, Aaron.
a backup to that, I will contact Midco with their project director for this and make sure they're aware of the issue so that they'll make sure they follow through with all the restoration required.
Yeah, so there was actually a resident that went around to several other houses and repaired it, and I kind of stopped him and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, our neighborhood don't like their ditches tore up, and I have a skid steer, so I'll fix it." And I told him he should probably stop doing that and put that back on the contractor. So,
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll go, thank you, Rob. Item number 5, Personnel Committee report, none. Planning Commission report, none.
I do have
Oh,
a brief one.
you got a brief one on the Planning?
Planning Commission, yeah, did meet on November 5th. They did hold a public hearing for the proposed fence ordinance. There were no speakers at the public hearing. Yeah, there was a discussion on the shared driveway ordinance here in the city, and Eleanor updated or gave some guidance to the Planning Commission on that. And then there was discussion about the animal ordinance survey at the last Planning Commission.
Thank you, Scott.
Yep.
Item number 7, Public Works report, will be none tonight. Item number 8, the City Administrator's report.
I just wanted to report that the city went out for requests for proposals for our IT services. We sent it out to 7 different vendors. The deadline for submittal was last Friday. We've received proposals from 2 of the companies, and fortunately, those were the 2 of the best companies that we solicited, that we thought. So we'll be evaluating those 2 proposals and bringing that to City Council for consideration for approval at the next City Council meeting. We've been basically kind of Band-Aid patching our way through that since the Paragon contract expired in August. So with the award of this, we'll be back to full IT services for the city.
Okay. Thank you, Jack. Is that it?
Yes.
We'll go to item E, announcements and reminders. There's a park board meeting on Tuesday, November 18th at 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Planning Commission meeting on November 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m. City Council meeting, there's a typo here, it's November 24th at 6 p.m., 2025. And Thanksgiving holiday, November 27th and 28th, 2025, the City Hall will be closed. And item number F, we're going to go into a closed session. The City Council meeting will be closed to consider the sale of city-owned real property identified as PIN number 15-32-22-23-0008 and the potential purchase of PIN number 253222210007 pursuant to Minnesota Statute Section 13D.05 subdivision 3 parentheses C parentheses 3. So at this time, everybody in the council will have to leave. Appreciate you showing up. Nice seeing you, Carrie.